We thank you, God, that as we embarked on this occasion, Father God, that you will bless and you will continue to anoint and keep every leader present here tonight. Father, help us, oh God, that we will not grow weary in well-doing, for we know in due season, even as we are doing now, we will reap as if we faint not. And so we thank you for this night. And we ask, oh God, that everything that is said and done will be to your honor and to your glory. And to you be all the praise. And we thank you, Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Minister Williams. You may be seated. At this time, we call on our principal from Yellow Alder Primary School, Ms. Janice Johnson, to officially welcome you.
In the words of former United States President Barack Obama, change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Director of Education, Mr. Marcellus Taylor, Western New Providence Primary District Superintendent, Mrs. Janice Morse, District Education Officers, Ms. Cravoy Noel Smith and Ms. Jana Sweeting Morse, other ministry officials, Country Head for UWI Open Campus, Ms. Bridget Cooper, course facilitators, Drs. John Horsful, Cheryl Gibson, and Stephanie DeRoe Barron, who is streaming live with us this evening, fellow school leaders, family, friends, and loved ones, my fellow course participants, and now certificate awardees, good evening. This evening, I am humbled to carry out this assignment of welcoming all of you to this auspicious occasion, the Leadership and Management Certificate Ceremony. Some of the nation's brightest and best school leaders. Colleagues, can you still remember how a certain person continuously, consistently cajoled us to be a part of this course? Many of us questioned how we would do it with so much already on our plate. However, as always, we in this Western New Providence Primary District rose to the occasion as leaders and went above and beyond even our own expectations. I am certain that you would all agree that the 3-hour-long sessions twice a week for 5 weeks, the group discussions, the reflections, and yes, the 3-hour-long final assessment late into the evening have all allowed us to sharpen our skills as leaders and school managers. Director, D.S. Morse, Ms. Cooper, and our esteemed facilitators, we are indeed more comfortable, confident, and hence more competent leaders because of your mentorship and instruction. Awardees, we proved that we are still a people capable of doing big things and tackling our biggest challenges. Once again, I say welcome.
Oh, come on, I'm pretty sure you can do much better than that. That was a welcome extraordinaire. Let's welcome our district superintendent with the occasion. Please give her a round of applause.
I recall my first conversation with Mrs. Cooper pertaining to what training I desired for school leaders based on challenges they frequently encountered. Based on this discussion and Mrs. Cooper's ingenuity and determination, this leadership management program was designed and implemented. Some 36 individuals, and I say eagerly, expressed interest and registered to embark on a rigorous learning experience that spanned for principal 6 weeks and other school administrators for 10 weeks. I stand here super proud of their sacrifice, commitment, and resilience, which resoundingly communicated their desire for empowerment and quest for excellence in school leadership. We are here this evening to celebrate the accomplishment of these deserving individuals. They have worked extremely hard and are here to reap the rewards of their labor. More importantly, it is hoped that the knowledge and skills gained will increase their leadership capacity and provide critical support needed to lead their learning communities. Many friendships were established, bonds made, and greater networking throughout the district ensued. This experience, in no small measure, served as the impetus for improved professional learning communities and the desire to acquire additional professional qualifications. Simply put, my administrators are stronger together. John Quincy Adams once penned, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader." Colleagues, I trust that your work will inspire others to become leaders of excellence. A pleasant good evening to all.
This time, please welcome, with remarks, Mrs. Bridget Cooper, Country Head, the University of the West Indies, Open Campus, Bahamas.
I look around and I see colleagues, I see friends, and yes, I also see family. And I feel like I am in a very good place. I feel right at home among you. The government of the Bahamas uses your tax-paying dollars to provide funding to the University of the West Indies. Last year, somewhat to the tune of $4 million, in the name of national growth and development. When other countries falter, the Bahamian government stands firm in its commitment to financially support UWI. This commitment makes available to you quality and affordable education and training opportunities that are made available through UWI. You are entitled to the service we provide. This evening, as we celebrate under the theme, Excellence in Leadership, I reflect on the leadership of one Mrs. Janice Moss, your district leader. If you know anything about DS Moss, you know that she is a leader that leads by example. She does not believe in mediocrity, and she does not believe in things thought impossible. Rather, she believes that those she leads must access the best the industry has to offer. And I can attest that she will move heaven and earth to get what she wants for the benefit of those she leads. She is passionate and honest about her vision and goals, and follow through to the very end, while carrying others along with her on the journey and experiences in the name of capacity building and preparing the next generation. So imagine my delight when the question of leadership training was tabled for the Western New Providence Primary District. Much like your district leader, I too am committed to educational excellence. And I am passionate about empowering school leaders to be effective leaders and outstanding role models for those they lead. As an effective educator can only result in positive student achievement. And really, that is our ultimate goal. So, 2 courses were designed and shaped to meet the goals articulated by D.S. Morse: effective management and leadership for principals and vice principals, and management functions for senior mistress, senior masters, and other school level leaders. The University of the West Indies is known for excellence and is ranked in the top 1.5% in the global field of some 30,000 universities and research institutes. So there is no doubt about the rigor, the quality, and the effectiveness of our programs. You can attest. An example of this can be seen from the feedback received from you, the participants of the training courses, which revealed the level of satisfaction experienced by 95% of the participants. And I share them with you. The objectives for training were clearly defined. We asked you. 100% were satisfied. Participation and interaction were encouraged. 100% satisfied. The topics covered were relevant to me, to you. 100% satisfied. The content was organized and easy to follow. 100% satisfied. I'm feeling pretty good about myself right here and what we did. The materials distributed were helpful. 100% satisfied. The training experience was useful and will be useful in my work. 100% satisfied. The Zoom platform was adequate and comfortable. Yes, 100% satisfied. The training objectives were met. 95% satisfied. The time allotted for the training was sufficient. 95% satisfied. The trainer was knowledgeable about the training topic. 90% satisfied. The trainer was well prepared. 90% satisfied. By all accounts, we got A's. Thank you for your confidence, the confidence that you reposed in UWI to launch this training initiative for the school leaders. I view this opportunity as the foundation for other bespoke courses and training initiatives for the future. Thank you, D.S. Morse, for the opportunity to work with the awesome leaders in your district. I wish to recognize the tutors for the role that they played in delivering the courses, and we called their names already, but I'll call them again. Dr. John Horsfall, Cheryl Gibson, and Stephanie Barron. A job well done. UWI Open Campus is here to support you. Congratulations and good evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Cooper. UWI gets an A. And now, with reflections, we call in this order Ms. Esther Newton, Principal of Willard Patton Preschool, Mrs. Michaela Smith, Principal for Center for the Deaf, and Mrs. Desmona Ambrister, Senior Mistress of Albury Sale Primary School. Please come in that order.
Aristotle once said, "Excellence is never an accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent direction." Fellow classmates, wouldn't you agree with me that the course Effective Management and Leadership was loaded with lots of valuable information? It certainly was. When offered the opportunity, I enrolled in the Effective Management and Leadership course because I was intentional about enhancing my leadership skills. And today, I sure can say that I was not disappointed. I gained lots of knowledge on how to become an effective leader. In this brief reflection, I will share with you two of the most impactful experiences gained and how I have implemented the lessons learned in my role as a school leader. Some of you may or may not know that one of my biggest struggles is public speaking. Usually when I'm tasked with speaking, I become very fearful, nervous, my tongue ties, I begin to stutter, selective mutism sets in at times, and at times I have to literally fast and pray. In addition, sometimes I have to get lots of encouragement from my two adult children and my senior assistant. Well, can I tell you that the first class in this course was no exception. About 3:30 p.m. on October 18th, I checked my email and saw the first assignment. The assignment read, "Participants, be prepared to introduce yourself in fun and interesting ways." It went on to read what the introduction should include. Being the Miss Newton that I was at the time, and I say was at the time, I began to panic. I held my head and I was like, well, blow me down. This can't be for real. My secretary asked, "Miss Newton, what happened?" With my eyes welled up with tears, I said, "I just seen the first assignment for my class this evening, and it's something that I have to present verbally." I hurried home and prepared a short speech, adding a little music background at the introduction at the conclusion. Honestly, I felt so uncomfortable, nervous, and even kind of foolish, and so I was determined to be the first to present and get it over with quickly. But to my surprise, when I was finished with my brief presentation, Dr. Hoshfall commended me. I don't recall his exact words, but personalizing his comments, calling my name, he said, "Esther, I like that. I like how you use the music. Great job, Esther. Esther, that was really touching." His words meant so much to me. I breathed a sigh of relief. I called my daughter and I told her, "I did it, and guess what? The lecturer said that he liked my presentation, and some of my other administrators also said that it was good." What Dr. Horsfall demonstrated is exactly what he taught us about a good leader. A good leader motivates, encourages, and inspires others with a "we can, you can do it" attitude. A good leader makes each person feel valued for the role or contribution he or she brings to the organization. Dr. Barron further told us that motivation is crucial because it allows us to change behavior, develop competencies, grow interests, develop talents, and boost engagement. The experience of not only being taught how to motivate others, but being motivated by the lectures encouraged me to participate in the class discussions, and it made me more confident when asked to speak. As a leader, the experience has propelled me to intensify my motivation and encouragement strategies so that I now intentionally motivate my staff for their efforts, not only as a group, but individually. The other takeaway that I cherished from the course was the final assignment that encouraged team roles. Like Tuckman's theory outlined, We too went through the stages of forming, norming, and storming. At the end of our first meeting, we were at the stage of performing and adjourning. It was evident that as a team, we were interdependent. Each person had their weak and strong areas. But as a team, we complemented each other, we depended on each other, and together we successfully completed the task by creating a high-ranking video and oral presentation. At my school the other day, I quickly learned that my strong area on a particular committee was nothing more than an organizer and a wax paper cutter. I thought that I was able to decorate some cupcakes that was needed for an event. But the harder I tried, the more confused and frustrated I became, and the innocent cupcakes, sensing my stress, began flaking away at the top and the edges. In the midst of the mad cupcake episode, I found the missing link, a very important lesson taught by Dr. Darrow Barron that focused on Bell-Bin's team roles, and that is to ensure that each team or project has different work skills represented. Not only are the roles and skills to be represented, but acknowledged. When I admitted my weakness and acknowledged the skills of the experts in that area, the final products were equal to those on the cupcake war show. Overall, the course, Effective Management and Leadership, has taught me many valuable lessons on how to be an effective leader. As stated by Aristotle, excellence is never an accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent directing. District Superintendent Morse and all the other persons responsible for affording my colleagues and I the opportunity to better our leadership skills. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
A quote by Christine Caine states, "Impossible is where God starts." This has been my mantra since 2019. Why? Because of all the obstacles that I have faced since that time. And God saw it and helped me through. At the beginning of the program, it looked as if I was not even going to begin. But here I am, done and done. DS Moss, she knows my journey, and I want to say thank you. It was not supposed to be like this, but impossible was where God started. As I reflect on the course, I keep high in my thoughts the quote shared with us by Dr. John: "Everything rises and falls on leadership." Little did I know that in short order, I would be putting my newfound knowledge to use. Houseburg hygiene factors was one of the first theories I encountered. Job security is high on many of my staff's list. One of the janitors came to me and poured out her heart. This meant that she was comfortable with me, and I could hear Dr. John admonishing us all not to betray the confidence of those you lead. Another moment of reflection came when we were put into groups. I prayed and I prayed each time not to be put in a group with DS Moss. And impossible is where my God started, and he put me right there. In almost every group activity, DS Moss was right there with me. And as the time went on, I saw a side to her that I don't know if most people see, but I got to see just a glimpse of it. And I'm like, okay, she's cool. I could make some jokes with her. let me test this theory out. So in our norming and storming phase, I became a little devil's advocate. D.S. Morse wanted to be the treasurer, I think it was, to collect the money. And of course, I stepped in and said, no, I won't do that. You can't do that because I already doing that. See, now Michael here, she won't do it. And so we had our storming phase, and it was good. I don't mind that kind of a storm. So D.S. Morse, thank you for that experience. But it helped me realize that there are processes that we go through, and we don't know why or how they are, but once you know, it's like so easy to spot and to see. Just like Hausberg theory with the hygiene factors of job security, never crossed my mind. I just figured everybody here to do their job, everybody's coming to work, and this janitress who confided in me hardly ever missed a day of work, hardly ever. But she had a lot going on in her life, and I'm glad I had the knowledge to know how to approach her, to know what to say to her, and to keep her confidence in me that what we shared will stay there, and as best as I can help her, I will. And so those are some of the things that I remember most about this course, and they stand out to me. And Dr. John, especially, he shared, I would correspond with him via email and ask him his opinion on things, and he responded to me and answered back. And I don't think he's here, but I would like to say in his absence, thank you for that. It helped me to grow, because like I said, little did I know that I would be walking the principal road in short order. And now I am armed, and I am ready, and I know DS got my back. So I'm ready to go, and thank you, colleagues, all of you who networked with me, and we worked together. Thank you all for sharing with me, and I hope I can do the same for you. Thank you, and good night.
As a new administrator, fresh out of the classroom and into a new school and a new district, the course provided me an opportunity to make my house, my new house, a home. The majority of the assignments were group work, which allowed countless opportunities for me to meet and interact with other administrators. We discussed, debated, and most importantly, collaborated on topics that would affect our educational system. I think we can truly say we have learned a lot from each other, from qualities of an effective leader to how to manage your time wisely. Speaking of time, time played a vital role in the deduction of points during this course. If we went over time by 1 minute, points were deducted. If assignments were an hour late, points were deducted for every hour, and the list goes on. It was a form of discipline that we benefited from, and we took it on as a challenge. It was a pleasure to learn from and alongside some of the brightest minds that happen to also share the same passion for education that I share. I will end by reciting the Western New Providence Primary District mantra. Happy teachers are productive teachers, and productive teachers create excellent students. Thank you for providing an opportunity where we can ensure that our environment is producing excellence. Good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Newton, Mrs. Smith, and Mrs. Ambrister. So nobody wanted to talk about the dreadful midterm exam and the NA? Nobody, okay. I'll just carry on smartly. At this time, please let us welcome our Director of Education, Dr. Marcellus Taylor, with remarks.
36 of you participated in a program designed to improve and enhance your skills as school leaders. 36 of you are now in a position to support and empower other administrators who are not a part of the course, but more importantly, to better lead those persons in the institutions where you are, the teachers, the students, the support staff, and even the parents. I have a view, and I'll share it with you this evening. And that view is that in a lot of ways, we underutilize the human resources that we have. We underutilize the human resources that we have in part because we have not really come to grips with what potential there is in individuals. I was trying to ask Ms. Moss as I was coming up if she really got permission to have this program. Not this event tonight, but to go to UWI and establish this course. I don't remember it coming across my desk. I'm not saying it didn't, but I don't have any recollection of it. But you see, it didn't really need to come across my desk because Ms. Moss is the district superintendent, as your leader, realizing what could benefit you and help to empower you, took the requisite initiative, took the requisite action to create an environment to expose you. And I hear Ms. Mills showing off with all of the different theories that she was exposed to. And that's good. It's good. Not the showing off part, but it's good that she knows them, right? Because we have to have the humility part, got to temper that. But I know what she did. It's fine, it's quite fine. And just as she knows, able to quote the different theories, and just as you have worked with them during your program, you now have the more important part. The easy part was the 5 hours, sorry, the 3 hours twice a week for either 5 or 10 weeks or whatever your schedule was. That was the easy part. The easy part was the midterm. Even if it was difficult, that still was the easy part. The harder part, the more important part, the part that you must now focus on is application. Application in the environment in which we find ourselves. Although I am pleased that one of the reflectors indicated that the presenters did a lot of work to understand the Bahamian context and culture. And so that helped to take those theories and locate it into our space. But still, it's still a class. Still, it's theory, the practice. And I can tell you, I think I know 1 or 2 theories myself, right? The Bahamas is a different game than plenty of those theories, right? But that is your challenge. That is our challenge. How do we make things work with the people and in the environment that we find ourselves? One of the things, people who practice medicine in the US, if you bring them here to practice medicine in the Bahamas, every patient will die. They come from very highly resourced institutions. They come with all sorts of support mechanisms. And similar thing may be said about some of the school systems in other countries. They are better resourced. They may have situations going on that we don't have. But we have to find ways to make it work in our reality. And that's why the notion of reflection is important. Reflecting. and all of us as teachers were trained to reflect. At the end of every lesson, you reflect on that lesson. I would like to think that at the end of every day, we reflect on what happened during that day, how we could have done it differently, better, what lessons we've learned, and how we can use the experience of today to make tomorrow better. Because why? That's what our job is. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be easy. And if you have the sense that you could make it perfect, if you have the sense that it would be easy, kind of a little bit fooling yourself. In fact, it gets harder. And why does it get harder? Because the more you know, the more you should be compelled to do better and to do more. And so, I'm pleased that you made this effort to register in these courses, to spend hours in the actual lectures, and whatever time you had to spend in reading and preparing assignments, etc. But I'm even more pleased that you understand that despite the situation, despite how difficult it might be, you as the leaders of this education system, whether it be at a school, or at the district level, or at the national level, you have that role to play to make things better. One last thing I'd like to say, and it comes from the experience that we saw unfold when we had the Institute for Educational Leadership that I think ran between 2006 and perhaps 2013 or sometime like that. One of the unintended consequences of that program was the bonding and the sharing that those participants of whatever cohort fostered among themselves. I want to say to you that collegiality, collaboration, and working together, supporting one another, is what will help us to create and make and sustain a modern 21st education system. Nobody can do it all alone. And certainly at this pivotal time, where there's so much happening, so much in the way of demands, but yet so much in the way of possibilities, I would argue that the only way we can really do it is to consolidate, to collaborate, work together for the best interests of our country. And so on behalf of our Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Education, Mrs. Glennis Hannah Martin, our State Minister, Mr. Zane Lightburn, our Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Lorena Mills, and all colleagues at the Ministry and Department of Education, we wish to congratulate you for the work that you've done in being successful in this program. But also, I'd like to thank you very much for the work that you have and continue and will continue to do as school leaders, the ones who actually ensure that the children of this country receive a quality education. Thank you very much. Good evening.
We are going to start with the first group of recipients, and I want to call on Mrs. Bridget Cooper to please come and assist us with the presentation of certificates. The first group of recipients would be those who enter. She did the course too, eh? Those who would have completed the course in management functions. Desmona Umbrister. Nikisha Burrows.
Rochelle Coakley. Tara DeVoe. Donna Davis Thurston. Please clap for your colleagues. Else we can add that to the course next time, Miss Morse. Stacy Forbes. Dion Johnson. Karen Knowles Richardson. Siobhan Morley. McQuell Hickstock. Sandy Smith Ramsey. Charlene Storr. Sherilyn Strawn. Jolyn Stubbs. Jolyn. Brenda Toot. And Diane Williams. And now I'm going to ask our director to please come and assist with the next group of recipients. And these are the participants who completed the Effective Management and Leadership course. Ooh, director following instructions, good, good. Samantha Adderley Anderson, sorry. Casheron Coakley. Former Danes. Dolores Forbes. Chauncey. Joan Knowles. Glendina Mills. Santhi Menes. Janice Moss. We need a repeat of course for those who don't follow instructions clearly. Esther Newton. Shavanya Robinson. Another one need repeating. Roberta Scott. Cravoy Smith. Michaela Smith. Thank you very much, Mr. Taylor. Give yourselves a round of applause.